I'm David Wolfe, and we're here in Malibu, California, enjoying the best day ever. 10 hours into the launch of the Longevity Now program, and we are at the point where we're literally making recipes out of the manual. I've got my friend Jason Wrobel here, and he is going to guide us through several of these fantastic recipes, and he is a cuisine master. Jason, what do we got here?
Okay, so we've got some recipes out of the Longevity Now program. We're going to do 3 recipes in one day. We're going to do a basic almond milk recipe to show you at home how you can make milk at home, get off the dairy, get into doing things yourself and making the best milk ever. We're going to transition that into a variation, take it up a notch to a chocolate maca milk, and then we're going to take some of that original nut milk base and make a vanilla Shilajit latte. So you can quit on the corporate coffee and get into the real high activation, high energy stuff. So we're doing 3 recipes in one today. We're going to just kick it up a notch each way. And it's really about, again, empowering people to make food themselves and take control of their health.
Look, I want to say this. I am the worst guy in the world for making food. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, this guy's like a master cuisine guy. I barely can do anything. But you get me in front of a blender, I can throw a few ingredients in there and make it happen. And that's what we're going to do right here. If you're a bachelor at home and you have never made any food, you can do this. If you have never, cut any vegetables, no problem. There's no vegetables to cut here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, this is easy. And really what you'll find is that as you start preparing more and more raw food, it is easy. There's nothing intimidating about it. It's about being courageous enough to say, yes, I can do this. I can take control of my health and have the best tasting food ever. So we're going to show like raw food 101 today. A nut milk is really where a lot of people start in the raw food spectrum. You can make nut milks out of anything. Almonds, pistachio, which is off the charts. You can do cashew milk. You can do hemp
that
milk.
Sounds real good. I mean, I grew up on pasteurized, homogenized, glow-in-the-dark, and Darth Vader kind of dairy products in plastic leaching jugs. Are you saying that we could have nut milks that we make at home that are even better?
Absolutely. They taste better. They're more nutritious. And what you'll find is you can actually use these not only for your cereal and your smoothie base, but you can actually make your own raw vegan ice cream, which I've been going bananas on lately. And we're talking ice cream that I can take to my family, like my aunt and uncle, and say, here, try this. Well, what is it? No, just try it. And they taste it, and you see the epiphany. You see their minds getting blown. So this is a real nice ground level, not just to do a nut milk, but to take it up a notch each time. Do ice creams, parfaits, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Are you telling us that healthy food and healthy ice creams can actually be more enjoyable than the conventional stuff and the cheap stuff?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You never go back. I mean, when you taste the quality of, say what I made this past week was a chocolate cherry chip ice cream. It was ridiculous.
Where is it?
It's like Ben and Jerry who? Huh? So it's just about taking it up a notch and giving it to people, and the doors of perception are forever opened. So this is a really nice starting point on learning a nut milk, and then you can really use this as a base for all kinds of things in the raw food recipe world.
Okay, so now looks like here we've got some almonds soaking in water. How long have they been soaking in that water?
Okay, so this has just been soaking
raw almonds, right?
A short time today. When I got in here, we started soaking them. Optimally, what you want to do is soak them for about 12 to 14 hours, because what happens in nuts, especially almonds with this skin, and you can see this in the camera, the brown skin, is there's something called an enzyme inhibitor. And an enzyme inhibitor is basically what protects this from sprouting while it's on the tree. It falls on the ground, it rains, it washes away the enzyme inhibitor, and then it sprouts hopefully into an almond tree. The challenge is that for humans, enzyme inhibitors are extremely difficult to digest. So soaking these almonds really maximizes the nutrition by making them more easily digestible.
Okay, so let's say I'd never done this before. I would literally soak raw almonds like you've done here. By the way, this is a recipe in the Longevity Now program, which we have debuted today. How long would I soak those again?
12 to 14 hours optimally.
Okay, 12 to 14 hours. So what are you going to do now? Where are we going with this?
Okay, so we're going to start our raw almond milk base. So I'm starting with 3 cups of filtered water here in our Vitamix. And I'm actually going to drain the soak water here from the almonds. So let me run over to the sink real quick and do that.
So now what he's doing is he's draining the water off, so he's got just the almonds and very little moisture left over. Okay, and then what are you going to do with that?
So here's our ratio. We've got 3 cups of the filtered water. We have 1 cup of soaked almonds. We're going to add that to our mixture. And we're going to add your sweetener of choice. Of course, we talked about this in the last segment. Local, raw, wild honey, full of propolis and enzymes and goodness. We're going to add about a tablespoon of that to our nut milk.
Oh, this is going to be so good.
I mean, look at that. That's golden sunshine right there, everybody. That's golden sunshine. We love the bees. You know, bees got to get some love, and they really are a cornerstone of our agriculture. If you guys want to know more about bees, just Google bees and see how crucial they are to our entire agricultural system. We must honor them. We must treat them with respect. And my God, I mean, this is like a gift from heaven.
Local organic honey. And I want to say something about longevity in honey. There was a bunch of research done in Russia over 150 years, and they found out that the longest lived people in their country were beekeepers. Different theories were proposed as to why these folks were living so long. One theory was that they were getting stung so much that they just kept going. And by the way, bee venom is capable of fighting back calcium-forming organisms, interestingly enough. So that was a reasonable theory. They found out that wasn't the main reason. Then the whole idea of maybe bee pollen and royal jelly, they thought, hey, maybe it's because these super nutritious superfoods, that's why these people are living a long time. They found out that wasn't it either. It turned out that these folks were honey eaters. That's right. Honey is a longevity food par excellence, second almost to none in the world.
Absolutely. So what we do is we like to use that as a sweetener because it's a food. A lot of sweeteners, I'm not going to name any, can't really be classified as a food. We want to get away from the maple syrups and the turbinado sugars and the stuff that's super high glycemic. This is a whole food. You can just eat this by the heaping tablespoon, as many of us have done.
I think we need to put more of that in there. I'm feeling it.
Okay, let's do it.
It would be kind of rude not to at this point.
Is this scraping the bottom of the barrel where all the goodness is?
Yeah, we're at the bottom of the barrel on that one.
So we're going to reserve some for our latte recipe.
Okay, so we're going to need to leave a little bit in there.
So we've got about a tablespoon and a half of honey in there.
Okay.
And we've got Ultimate Superfoods real raw ground vanilla beans. These are super amazing.
This is an unbelievable deal how much vanilla you get in this
this
1 pound bag.
amount.
Look at that amount.
And for those of you
Let
out
me just
there,
smell that here.
Yeah, take a whiff, Dave. I mean, it's fantastic.
I
right?
mean,
Get it in your sinuses, bro.
look, guys out there, if you're listening right now and you have a wife, girlfriend, significant other, get your act together. It's time to get on the real deal. Put the vanilla right under her nose, and you can activate genius inside yourself, because I know it will not just stop there.
So what we're doing is we're going to put the equivalent of about a half of vanilla bean. And this is so much easier because scraping vanilla beans is kind of tedious. It's pretty time-consuming as a chef. So this is a godsend right here. So we're going to put about a half a bean's worth of vanilla. And now what I like to add, and what I found, Dave, is the secret to a really amazing nut milk that's going to really satisfy a person's urge for that milky, creamy goodness is a salt balance. Good, amazing raw food chocolate and good, amazing raw food nut milk, the right amount of salt.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a couple pinches in here.
Now, this is interesting. Nuts are very high in potassium, and therefore we want to balance them out with a natural form of sodium, not an unnatural form of sodium like iodized salt, but real rock salt or sea salt, which is what we have here. Okay, so you're ready to blend.
We're ready to blend. So this is, again, our nut milk base, and this is going to be the base for our Choco Maca milk, and we're also going to reserve some of this for our vanilla Shilajit latte. So let's rock and roll. That's looking good. Now, what you'll notice, though...
Okay, now, before we get further,
yes,
you got one heck of a blender there.
This is like the Cadillac, man, or the Bentley, if you will. Two blenders that are crucial, and you will find that will take your recipes to a whole nother level, are the Vitamix. And they actually just came out with the VP3, I learned. That's the 3-horsepower version of the Vitamix, which is now on par with the BlendTac that will blend anything. If you look online... I mean, there are videos on YouTube of people doing things in Vitamixes and BlendTecs that will blow your mind. Non-food stuff that you're like, that can't blend, and it blends. So for the real connoisseur, invest in a Vitamix or a BlendTec blender. It will take your culinary skills to other levels with pâtés, with puddings, with all kinds of cake bases. I mean, this is really, if there's one thing I use every day as a chef, besides my chef's knife, high-speed blender. Crucial.
I can only agree with that with every iota of understanding I have about making food that I got in my heart. I mean, this high-speed blender thing is really powerful. I've been using this Vitamix blender since 1980 when I went to the Del Mar Fair and my family bought